Hello my friends, and I'm doing something that I've never done before, and that is I'm making a little addendum. I think it's addendum, right? Whatever. A little halfway, I'm rendering the EggWars 11 right now, and that should be up probably within a few hours. But in any case, I had a little fire in myself, a little spirit in me, and I just had to make another little extra part to today's video. And it's not related to the content in the EggWars 11. It's something a little bit different because I'm sitting here and it's rendering and things like that. I'm looking at Twitter and there's Lauren Duca, whatever. I think it's Lauren Duca. But she made a tweet, and she had this whole series of tweets where she's talking about the Trump administration set to roll back the birth control mandate. Limiting options for birth control and abortion turns women into slaves of reproduction. This is fucking war. And you know what? I just want to give my 2 cents on this issue, because I don't think I've ever really talked much about it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Now, the modern woman has one major enemy. They talk about, rape culture and all this stuff. They have one major enemy in Western civilization other than the Islamic migrants who are raping them by the thousands and beheading them and that sort of stuff. Outside of that, they have a major problem, and that is they absolutely by no means can they ever be responsible for anything. And the thing is that feminism pushes this whole idea, anything that could ever be, I'm not trying to sound like some lay skeptic man here or anything, but anything that could ever be put forward for them is, it's just, oh my fucking god, you have these women who, okay, let's just say, for instance, that maybe taxpayers are no longer funding your birth control pills, which have filled the water supply and everything with tons of estrogen and are wreaking havoc on both men by making men have higher estrogen levels, feminizing them. And also, I do believe I read that the higher estrogen levels from women abusing these birth control pills so much is also partially to blame for women's estrogen levels going up. And yeah, they're getting bigger tits or whatever, but it's also causing the spike in borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, and some other mental illnesses in women. I believe there's a correlation there as well with this high estrogen that's in all the food, these hormones in the food and water and things like that. A large part of which is a result of women in mass numbers abusing birth control, and so on and so forth, and it's all, they're pissing it out into the water and that sort of stuff. But anyway, so women, they just cannot see a future without having all their free birth control and their free abortions. And anytime you say to yourself, well, let's see here, why do you need birth control? You're okay, well, I'm having sex with my boyfriend and we're just not ready yet or anything like that, Okay, well, fucking masturbate then or some shit like that, just don't fuck if you're not really, even when you're on birth control. That's how they want their fucking abortions too, is because, the birth control is not guaranteed even so. Or if you're just really, you really just can't stop fucking, okay, well then I guess somebody's got to get fucking tubes tied or get a snip or something, because you're running risks of having pregnancy, and all these complications. But that's not really the reason, you know what I mean? They don't ever want to put the real reason out there. The real reason they want this shit available is because they're not responsible and they want to fuck as many guys as they want. If they want to fuck, 10 guys in a week, they don't want anybody to tell them they can't do that. If the 8th guy they fuck has a small dick and all of a sudden they decide, okay, well that guy wasn't very good, so I'm going to say he raped me. They don't want any kind of accountability. They don't want any kind of responsibility. And, that's why they do these shit like the slut walk was the other day, where 21 Savage was carrying around his "I'm a hoe" sign, looking like a total goddamn simp, looking like a pussy. He's out here fucking being Captain Save-A-Ho for all these skanks and these whores. Women don't want to. They say they don't care, and then they need to fucking have all these justifications and all these moral justifications, like, oh my god, well, I need to have birth control pills and abortions because what if I get raped? What if I get raped? I can't, then I'll have this kid, and I just can't have this kid right now because I got raped. And a bunch of these chicks who get abortions, I've known chicks personally who have gotten abortions, and they've said, oh, I had to get this abortion because I got raped, but they didn't actually get raped. You know what I mean? They fucking said they did after the fact, but they, you know, I knew that, you know, like, there was information that came out surrounding. Of course, nobody's gonna say, you lying ass bitch, you lying ass skank, you just got fucked and you don't want to take responsibility, because that's like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. You're gonna fucking, hell is gonna rain down upon you. God forbid you ever say that. But I knew this chick, and I knew for a fact she got fucking drunk at a party. There was some guy there who was like fucking in decent shape. I guess he was kind of a good looking guy. They fucked. Oh shit, they were both, you know, they'd been drinking. There wasn't any protection, because the thing is that she never filed any sort of, she didn't say, oh my god, this guy raped me, because there was a bunch of guys, there was like a bunch of people at the party, and they all knew that it was a bunch of bullshit. But she just, you know, she never went to the police or anything, but she was like, oh, but it was rape though, so I had to get this abortion or whatever. And they all say this stuff, oh, you know, or I need my birth control, because if I don't have birth control, I have really bad cramps, and oh my god, it's so bad. And they'll say all this bullshit, but it's what it is. It's bullshit. None of that's true. They have the real reason why they want birth control and abortions to be instantly available whenever they want it. They want it subsidized whenever they want it, because they want to just go to a party. They want to suck off 5 different guys at the club. They want to get fucking gang banged with no protection. You know, STD rates are the highest, you know, are fucking, you know, they've exploded in recent years, I believe. Well, at least HPV for sure has. I know HPV is like ridiculously common now. Now you have this guy in California who, Scott Wiener, the senator out there, whatever, who has decriminalized people transmitting HIV without, you know, if you're out in California, you're getting gang banged at whatever, and some guy fucking gives you HIV, if you're one of these chicks, that guy is no longer legally accountable. He never had to tell you he had HIV. You know, before that was considered to be a criminal act to give, you know, somebody that virus without informing them. Now it's not anymore, from what I've been told. So that's, women just don't want accountability. They don't want to have to be responsible for anything. They want to fucking spend all their young years. They don't ever want to have kids, because that's too much responsibility. They don't ever want to anything. They want to go to college. They want their parents to pay for them to go to college, where they'll fucking suck and fuck, you know, 500 different guys, and then they want to get their shitty bullshit degree in gender studies or some stupid shit that's never going to go anywhere, but then it can turn them into a professional online complainer, so they can have their fucking Patreon, so still making $100,000 a year off Patreon from a bunch of fucking beta cuckolds and whatever other shit, all these other fucking human filth that are out here. You know, they're going to have all this human filth out there that's going to subsidize them in that way, because, oh my god, oh, you know, they're going to sit on Twitter and complain all day about, oh my god, you know, Drumpf, he's literally raping me right now by not giving me 10 free abortions a day if I want it, you know. So they don't want any responsibility, and they want to be, you know, continuing on this cock carousel path and sucking and fucking every single guy they see until their looks run out, and then they're in their 30s, they're hitting the wall, all their good eggs are all used up, they're all dried out, and they're no fucking good anymore. Nobody gives a shit about any of them anymore, because they're never going to be a mother. They're never, you know, they're adopting 10 cats. They're adopting random foreign refugee children. No, they gotta have that. They gotta have a refugee child they adopt, so they can fucking post 800 pictures of that refugee child on social media every single day and go, I'm not racist. Look, I have a refugee child, so I'm better than you because I'm better than you and I'm not racist, and blah, blah, blah. And my womb is totally barren, and no man ever wanted to settle down with me. And by the way, now that I'm 40 years old and I realize that the fucking gravy train does not go forever, I'm going to start writing for Jezebel, I'm going to write for Cosmo, I'm going to write for the New York Times and Washington Post and all these other fucking bullshit, lying, fake news sites. I'm going to write, oh, there's no good, all men are man children, there's no good man left, oh, men are just the worst, men are, I hate men, I hate men. And what else were we talking about the other day? I mentioned how on Twitter I was like, you know, how the millennial generation of females, people who are like my age, they're said to be the lowest number of marriages ever, you know, the highest percentage of unmarried women in the last, you know, many years. You know, all these women, they're totally setting themselves up to just fucking total destruction, highest mental illness, highest rate of prescription drugs, all this different stuff that's going on with them. I'm like, you know, could you just imagine all the chicks that are doing this crazy shit nowadays? They're fucking on Tinder getting gangbanged 10 times a day, you know, all this different crazy shit that's going on, you know, and then they don't ever want kids. They're gonna fucking, you know, they're getting these patches in their arms of birth control that sterilizes them, you know, because they malfunction so often, or all this different shit they're doing because they don't want to be responsible. And then, of course, they're going to turn out to be 30, 40 years old when all the gravy train, all the, you know, all the all whatever stops coming in, they're gonna fucking lose it. They're gonna go nuts. You know what I mean? They're gonna fucking start doing some crazy psycho shit. You know, spinsters. I mean, when chicks, you know, they'll fucking when they're 45 years old and they realize that the next, you know, I mean, God, I'm sure they'll probably be committing suicide younger than that. But let's say you're, you know, 45 years old or 40, whatever, menopause hits. Definitely, you can't even have a retard child now. You're totally fucked. It's all gone. You're totally screwed. Everything's gone, and you realize you're going to be spending the next, you know, probably at least 20 years, if not 30, 40 years, because women live longer generally, you know, with nobody, you know, your family, you know, if you're 45 years old, unless you were born to a teen parent, your parents are probably either, you know, really old or they might be passed away. You know, if you didn't have any siblings, you know, whatever, you know, you have no children. I mean, you're totally, you know, you're basically just floating through, you know, you're an eater, you're floating through until whenever you eventually die. Just because you decided that you were strong and empowered, a lot more strong and empowered to fucking go around and suck a bunch of dick every single day and just have no responsibilities ever. And if anybody ever said, oh, you should be responsible, you shouldn't just fuck every single guy you see, you shouldn't have abortions on a platter for no, you know, without any sort of, you know, just, if it's not totally necessary, if you're not going to die. But then again, at the same time, you shouldn't be out getting fucking gangbanged by 20 different guys every single week. That's going to put you in this position where you're going to, you know, be at a higher rate or higher risk of needing these sort of severe operations. You know, you're turning into one of these fucking crazy chicks. I watched the Mr. Medicor video before it got taken down. It might be up again somewhere else now, but he talked about this chick. I never watched Guy with the Glasses, but there was some chick like Luis or some shit. I don't remember what her name was exactly, but she got some abortion. You know, she was like a normal chick. She got fucking knocked up by some guy, aborted the kid, and then fucking made a movie about getting an abortion. That turned into, like, her whole identity is she turned into this fucking, you know, used up Patreon, gimme, you know, fucking whore who, she just talks about stupid, dumb horse shit that nobody cares about. Now, like, that was, like, her whole identity. She used to be normal. She used to be a normal person, but then she fucking gets sucked into this matrix of, you know, women. And it's bad for women, obviously, too. I mean, you know, would you rather be, I mean, even college is bad for women to begin with, but would you rather be 18 years old and say, you know what, I'm not going to, you know, you get one path, you know, you're going to look for a guy who you can see a future with. You know, you look for this guy that is going to be the right guy for you, a guy who's got a good head on his shoulders, looking for a future. You want to say, you know what, I'm going to save myself for that guy, and then I want to be with him, I want to be the mother to his children, I want to get married, and that sort of thing. Or you're going to say, I'm 18 years old, I'm going to fucking be fat and shave my head and get you a bunch of shitty tattoos and fuck, you know, 100 million different guys on birth control and all these fucking different things and not give a fuck about my future. And then finally, you know, I mean, you're in the first, you know, 2 years of college, you've totally, you know, marked yourself as nobody's ever going to want to marry you. You know, you're probably mentally unstable because you've put yourself in so many compromising situations with drugs and hypersexuality, all these different things. Plus, you're being indoctrinated by Marxist ideologies where you can never be accountable. You're oppressed. You're a victim. No matter what you do, you're always the victim. Everybody needs to feel sorry for you all the time. You can never be a stable person. You are constantly in need of, you know, somebody fucking, you know, championing your victimized self and how oppressed you are and all this different shit. And it's just like you're, you know, that chick's gone. You know what I mean? Like any of these chicks who are out here and they're really actually saying, you know, I mean, because you need to look at it, the forest for the trees, if that's the right term here. You know, some chick who's coming out and saying that, oh my God, I just need to have this birth control, I'm going to die. Oh my God, I just need to have access my abortions or I'm going to die. They're full of shit. They're lying. It's bullshit. They're only trying to, you know, champion this sort of thing so they can continue to live these hedonistic lifestyles where they reduce themselves to merely a vessel for this pleasure, you know, this pleasure of the flesh, where they're nothing but just sexual objects. But also at the same time, oh my God, don't objectify me, because they want to selectively pick out, you know, the most attractive men or the most, you know, rich men or whatever, and then try and play both sides at the same time. I mentioned that earlier because some chick got some stupid dumb bitch who said some shit about, oh, I'm getting catcalled by my Uber driver. Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. And it's like, no, listen, the whole, it's everything, you know, you can never trust what these women are saying, because they're saying one thing to try and, you know, cover it up and try and, you know, only show one side of the story, but, you know, they don't ever want you to know their real intention, which is, you know, they want to put the most, you know, emotionally charged thing in your face. Oh my God, this Uber driver, you know, he probably raped 500 women. You know, 10 billion women are raped every minute, but they're just never reported. You know, oh my God, you know, oh, he was probably. But if it was some guy who, you know, was at their you know, that was this chick's age and you know, good looking, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just Uber driving right now while I get set up in my 7-figure position. She wouldn't give 2 fucks. You know what I mean? She wouldn't care at all. Okay, you know, oh, she probably would have been like, oh, I saw the hottest guy in my Uber today. You know, they say one thing to try and, you know, cover themselves and be like, try to put this smoke screen up, but it's never their true intentions. And the same thing with this reproductive health nonsense, you know, reproductive rights. Men do not get reproductive rights. Men get fucking forcibly mutilated at birth, which causes brain trauma and all sorts of sexual dysfunction. What else? Men, you know, if a man can't say no abortion because, oh, my body, my rights, but a man body has no rights. You know, a man has to fucking go to selective service. A man has to go die in the army. A man has to have his dick chopped off when he's born. All this different shit. Well, men don't get any rights. But, you know, it's so important that women should literally go to war. They should go to war if they can't have sex with 100 guys a week and have absolutely no responsibilities, and then just destroy their lives and then make their fucking faux careers of complaining about how men have destroyed their lives because men are evil and, you know, because the football players who I was sucking off when I was a college freshman, they're not here and billionaires to marry me and support everything I want to do forever and my destructive life habits for all eternity, so it's everybody else's fault except me. Alright, well that was just a little something I wanted to get off my chest, a little rant. But thank you for tuning in again to this little extra part today, and I'll definitely catch you next time.